grew up in South Florida and joined the Marine Corps at 19 years old. And then after I got out of the Marine Corps, after 4 years, I joined the Army. Early on in the war, we were just thinking, you know, we just want to get out of here alive. We just want to come home. And we thought the Iraqi people would respond in a very positive way to our liberating them. But in fact, after about a year of us being there, many of the Shia turned against us and began to fight us. So it really planted a seed of bitterness in my heart towards the Iraqi people. Their response to our sacrifice to them was to attack us and kill us. And I left Iraq in 2004, never wanting to go back again. But I did return to Iraq to work for the United States State Department for another 2.5 years. And early on, in 2007, when I first returned to Iraq, after about a month of being there, I attended a chapel service. And a pastor came in and just explained to us how what was happening in Iraq with the orphans and the street children. And he encouraged me to get involved just through his story and how he was responding to the crisis with the children. He really encouraged me to get involved and start helping the orphans and street children in Iraq. This change that happened in my heart was a slow change. I was a war fighter. I was practicing dispatching enemies. And I believe that in order to survive, you have to be able to kill your enemy. But the reality is I was put in a place where I had to begin practice loving my enemies. And it was hard. And it's still hard to this day. And it's something that has to be practiced. It doesn't come easy. You have to continue to step into a place where you faithfully love and expect nothing in return. So I first was focusing on orphans and widows, and then I was feeling challenged to really reach out and love our enemies and love the people that were attacking us. Many people were being killed at the time, and there was many children being orphaned and many widows being created. And so I really wanted to find a good way to reach out to these folks and to love them. And I found that for me, working through the indigenous Iraqi church would be likely the best way. So I began to build relationships with different church and religious leaders in Iraq. The Anglican Church, the Armenian Church, the Christian Mission Alliance Church, the Baptist Church, the Presbyterian Church. I began to build relationships with the pastors and the church leaders, and the ones that were doing really good work in helping orphans and widows. I wanted to encourage them and enable them and bring in some resources to expand their programming. This is Zafrania. This is one of the city dumps here in Baghdad, Iraq. This is where all the children live. They go through this trash and this garbage out here. I used to fly my Black Hawk helicopter over this dump, and I would see the children going through this trash, and it would break my heart. And there was nothing I could do at the time, but in 2007, God gave us an opportunity to serve the children, and now we have a mobile street children's center where we bring the children that are left out here. We can't serve all the children, but the ones that are left, they're still very susceptible to being recruited by terrorist organizations. They're still very susceptible to being trafficked. The young girls are trafficked, and so we're preventing that as much as we can with our mobile street children bus that Iraqi Children Foundation has, and we are just excited to be in partnership with Justice Gate. It was a place where I saw so many children rummaging through the garbage. In Iraq, relationships are extremely important. It's one of the most important things you need to have before you get anything done, because relationships are built on trust. And when somebody trusts you, they're willing to work with you. So for me, it became very important to build trustworthy and trusting relationships with the Iraqi people, first the indigenous church, and then the indigenous church leaders, and then Islamic leaders, tribal leaders. So this is my friend Abu Bashia, also known as Abuna Faiz. He's the pastor here at St. George in Baghdad. And Pastor Faiz and I have known each other for a long time. Many years.
Yes.
Right now we're going to go see the school that we were able to build as a result of the clinic that we built and a donation from the actual mayor of Baghdad helped us build this school because they were so impressed with St. George and the work they were doing as a result of the clinic that we built in 2008. Having built these relationships, you know, I want to enable the church in the United States of America to come over, and I want to facilitate them building relationships with the people that I know in Iraq. Serve lots of people here every single year. Assalamu alaikum. So these people are here, they come, thousands of people every single year come to this clinic at St. George in Baghdad, and they get served. So free medical, free dental. We have a laboratory here. We do blood, and we send them away with medication. So, shukran. We've experienced in Iraq is an indigenous church that's been able to forgive the enemies that have been attacking them. What we witnessed the indigenous church in Iraq do is love the widows and the orphans of our enemies and of their enemies. And so as I've witnessed the indigenous church in Iraq do that, I've been inspired to be part of that. So seeing the crisis and then having the relationships to be able to respond to that crisis is a gift. And I feel like stewarding those relationships is the most important thing that I should be doing.